Hey guys, it's Will. If you've been waiting for a real breakout in AI stocks, Big Bear AI just exploded 18% today, and it could be just the beginning. Most people, they miss because they don't know what signs to look for, but inside of our daily live sessions, we break down in real time how to trade these AI companies. And if you ever want to watch me trade live, it's that second link in the description to join us. We're live there Monday through Friday at market open. When it comes to this Big Bear AI trade outside of our long-term Charles Schwab portfolio, which we have an average purchase price of $2.80 on Big Bear, which we've been covering on the channel back here since early October. And since then, we've seen surges of about 560%. And then just recently, really started to see a recovery and a continuation of the overall trend. And we bought a small position. So you saw it go from $10.50 after that 5x down to about $2.30 before starting to really break out of this trend, which we pointed out about 2 days ago. We ended up buying as a result of this breakout, this push up above the 200-day moving average. So just in the last day or so, we're up about $460 on this position, and then a couple $1,000s over in our Schwab portfolio as a result of trading Big Bear. Now, when it looks like it's breaking out, the question is, can it continue? And a lot of people that are investing it right now are asking that question. We can now discount out of this breakout. We're into new territory, so we could go ahead and delete these levels as we've seen it now break out. Now we have some new levels to look at here, and we'll jump into it. So there's three things we look at. There is the market, which they're in AI and defense, which they're growing tremendously because they're getting these contracts related to the defense, border patrol, homeland security, and they have contracts with big major airports like Denver International Airport and Heathrow, where they have their AI large language model that scans the face of profiles people as they go through the airport. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I've seen it firsthand, and it's some really high-tech AI that they are implementing and have contracts for right now. Now, when it comes to the levels, there's a few levels to consider. You have this previous support here. So previous support right here at about $2.80. This is the level at which we were looking for a breakout, which we recently had happened. You can see this consolidation here and a slight push down before continuing up today, about 19%. And then you also have this resistance here. This is the level at which it's consolidated. It also had a support there. You can see that resistance, and recently a slight rejection there. And if you wanted to, you could actually take this and stretch it out, and you'll see that this level has been really strong for quite some time. Same thing with the support, actually. You could see those levels really be validated. And now we're starting to see this. Couple really key levels to watch as well. If we're going to see this hyper bull trend, that we see this stock continue up into, let's say, $5 to $7 range, which is what we're actually playing for and what we've expected the stock to do, that would be between a 40% and a 100% increase from current prices. Why are we looking for that type of return? Well, because these levels right here are starting to indicate more bullish momentum. And there's a few key levels right where it is now. There's a previous support here, as you can see, previous resistance and support right there. And that's where it is right now. So we'd like to see it hold this $3.40 range. That's the hyper bull case that it's really going to shoot up even more, the hyper bull case. What might be more likely in a bull trend for Big Bear AI is this trend right here, this level that maybe people haven't really noticed, but I'm seeing it as a very prominent level right here at about $3.15. You see that support, there's a resistance right here, resistance. I mean, it's very clear to me resistance right there as well, where it's gotten rejected, and even some consolidation earlier today when it was starting to push up. It got rejected, kind of struggled right there. So here's the levels, and we're seeing these levels as indicators for what we could expect. Hyperbole case, we see it hold above this $3.40 range. What might be more likely is that we see a dip tomorrow at market open, possibly not tomorrow, actually on Monday, and then we see it sell back down to this $3.10, $3.15 level, which then from there, if we start to see a push up, would be 10% to 20%. And that's the type of move that I'd look for in a trade. So we'll see how it goes with the technicals. But again, that's what we're going to be watching closely as it's starting to break out. Now, with that being said, this level of previous highs is what we're eyeing. If we see it get into that $10 range, it's a 200% increase. But again, we'll see if it can break out at this $3.45 range. The next level, if we see that hyperbole trend hold out and it stays above $3.40, is this resistance up here. You can see it's had some levels at which it's been rejected right here, and you see this level as the next potential target. Now, if it's going to hit those levels, again, just simple support and resistance from current price, that would be about a 40% increase. So again, nice resistance to watch for right there around $4.60. So when it comes to Big Bear AI, we also have this Fibonacci that we could take a look at. If we really wanted to take a look from top down, you go to the very recent low and you go to where we could see it to get to. So we're saying this $5 to $7 range. If it's going to get into this $5 to $7 range, technically, the buy ratio would be a break above $4. That's actually where the golden ratio is according to Fibonacci. If we're going to see it get up into this $5 to $7 range, then buy for the long-term swing would be about, right there around $4. Why are we already in it right now? Well, that's because BBAI has some really good financials. They just surpassed $1 billion market cap again today. There's a lot of hype articles, but I don't want to pay attention to those. What I want to look at here are the financials, and you see the quarter over quarter increases in revenue and then paying down their debt in the recent quarter. When they paid down their debt significantly, that's why you see the net income down. That's going to put their next quarter in a very favorable spot. You can see some of the companies that they're compared to, Palantir, SoundHound, and some others. And the reality is that the contracts that they're getting are in the $50 to $100 to $300 million range. And that's why we're looking at them from the news perspective as bullish. They just announced yesterday on April 24th, 2025, that they're leading provider of AI-powered decision intelligence solutions for defense and national security. And today, it will deploy its AI machine learning powered heavy manufacturing planning and production platform to Austal, USA. I believe I said that right, but let me know. One of the largest shipbuilders in the United States and a module supplier for the US Navy submarines. So this is when you get into shipping is a industry that's been around a long time. And there's billion-dollar companies. There is a lot of money in it. You just saw, for example, BlackRock purchase two of the biggest ports there, taking back the Panama Canal and doing it in a way that, hey, it seems like, oh my gosh, Big Bear is in the same industry as monitoring. Because one reason why BlackRock purchased it is because they wanted to not have the Chinese purchase it. This is national security we're talking about when we're talking about borders, we're talking about seaports where shipping is happening. This is national security. That's where Big Bear works. They work with the Pentagon. They got AI contracts with Army as well as Navy and Department of Homeland Security. Now, when you look at a contract like this, you could say that BlackRock bought those ports in Panama because the US wanted that to happen and wanted that deal to go through so that China wasn't running anything in Panama. In fact, the US should be the only country running things in Panama, as there's a deep history in what, we built a big portion of, the Panama Canal. There's a reason that we have that Panama Canal in control. And so that was something people say, oh my gosh, BlackRock, that's not good. We have somebody, Jerry Fink or whoever, we got them buying, something that's maybe US, that should be US owned. But now you got regulations from US government and you have control from US, which is a huge advantage. And then you have these types of contracts. So if you take a look at some of the government and defense that they do, you got the Pentagon there. Just take a look. Imagine, you see this image right here. So you have ships that go in and out. Obviously you want to track that, but you also want to track with AI how many ships there are, when they leave, what time they come. Are there new ships? Are there old ships? Are they filled with lots of cargo? Are they not filled with cargo? Is there new little ships in their group? Are they coming at suspicious times? Are they from other countries that they shouldn't be there, that maybe they're setting up something operationally that they shouldn't be? Are the ships and all of the data that's going in being observed? And that's exactly the type of software that Big Bear does. That's what they specialize in. And that is why this contract recently is good for them. So they got a good amount of contracts. The financials have been improving. And then we look at the chart here and we're saying, hey, from a really deep technical perspective, we're looking like we're seeing a recovery here. If we just get rid of all the drawings and we just look at what's happened recently, we're seeing this hyper bull recovery. If we start to see continuation again up above this $4 range that we saw them nearly touch today, then we're hyper bullish and seeing that $5 to $7 range that we've been eyeing for a little bit here. That's the pricing in that we're looking for Big Bear AI. Now we'll see if some of those levels that we pointed out hold. I would imagine if you're an investor right now, you're looking at it, you might say, oh wow, look at the RSI, look at the MACD, it's very overextended. If we're in a shorter term trade, maybe we're locking in profits. But in our longer term portfolio, we've been invested from $2.80 up to $10 and back down, and now at $3.50, and we're still holding strong on the Schwab portfolio. But on the near term, it's possible we could sell sometime, maybe market open. We'll see how it goes on Monday, and then maybe look for that dip into those levels that we pointed out. So again, kind of going down into this maybe $3 range here before continuing up, and then that would put us, maybe we get a good trade in there at market open on Monday. I mean, that's a pretty strong resistance that could act previous resistance will act as support most times. So we'll see if it does validate and how strong this trend is. And if we start to see a dip opportunity there, maybe an overreaction at market open, similar to what we caught earlier this week, actually, then we might take advantage of that in our market open session. If you guys ever want to watch me trade live, take some of the guessing out of your trading and have some more clarity, I would encourage you guys to simply take a look at that second link in the description. All you have to do is simply take a look. And if you decide to join us at market open, I would love to have you there. I would love to be a part of your success and get you into a consistent waking up early, where we get up at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time each day and we trade and invest. And if you'd like to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, learn the ropes of investing and trading, it's that second link in the description. Thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me know your thoughts on Big Bear down below, and we'll see what happens if these opportunities present themselves. So again, we'll be watching closely there at market open. And if I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.